Cheat codes. They're a part of gaming history, secrets that spread by word of mouth before the internet was as sophisticated as it is now. Lots of games have them and lots of them don't, but regardless, sadistic developers from all walks of life love to gloat to players who try to use codes or try to cheat their systems. From simple Easter eggs that taunt you for trying, or completely ruining the game experience, some snide coders manage to make us throw our controllers in frustration after trying to enter some of these codes. Hey guys, ArcadeCloud here, and today we're counting down our top 10 games that humiliated cheaters. If you're new to our channel, go ahead and subscribe. It's free, you know? Make sure to comment down below and let us know what we missed on this list and what codes got you angry growing up. And hey, if you enjoy the video, give it a thumbs up and share it with some friends. That's also free. Coming in at number 10 on this list is Super Monkey Ball Jr. for the Game Boy Advance. It may not look like much, but this game packs one hilarious bird flip to curious players who want to try cheating. Everybody knows about the famous Konami Code. Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, start. It's a gaming reference so well known and publicized, whenever it's brought up in conversation, you're likely to hear it on r/fellow kids. But despite the code's infamy, programmers to this day still love hiding little secrets in their games when players enter the code. Even some early Konami games had jokes hidden for players who entered the code. But in Super Monkey Ball Jr., once the code is inputted on the title screen by the player, the title changes from Super Monkey Ball to Super Nice Try. I love this one. Can I get this title screen on a t-shirt, please? It's definitely cute, but doesn't ruin the game at all. It's just a fun little nod that kinda lets the humor of the developers shine through. I'm surprised this made the final release, to be completely honest, but I'm very glad it did. Working our way up to number 9 on this list with Link's Awakening on Game Boy. Now we're starting to ramp up the level of anger these secrets cause. In this game, it's possible to steal items from the shopkeeper by running circles around him and finding your way to the exit without getting caught. But be warned, during the rest of your game from now on, the name you entered for Link at the beginning of the game has now been overwritten as Thief. Forever it will taunt you. How could you, Link? How could you steal? You're supposed to be the good guy. The knowledge that you stole one thing from a store will follow you for the rest of your game. Can't feel all heroic when everybody's calling you thief in all caps now, can ya? Exactly. Lesson learned, don't steal if you're the hero of the story. Personally, I think it'd be better if the title screen changed from Link to Thief too, because Thief's awakening would be pretty spot on. You're awakening to the fact that you're a bad person for taking some bombs without paying or whatever. At number 8, we've got the indie cult hit Undertale, and I gotta say, I love this game. And so do a lot of people. They loved it enough that, with enough digging in the game's code, the fan community found a hidden ending in the game. In this ending, Sans calls you and breaks the fourth wall in his typical fashion, mentioning that if you're able to read his messages, there's something wrong with the game. But then he adds the quintessential line of sentience, "Chances are, though, you're just a dirty hacker, aren't you?" This is pretty lighthearted, with the exception of the utterly stomach-churning eyeless Sans sprite when he says the line, but it's not higher on this list because there's nothing consequential about this exploit. The game doesn't break from you trying to cheat. In this case, you broke the game by editing the code, and it's making fun of you for it. No harm, no foul, but it does go to show how deep the rabbit hole goes on hidden content in Toby Fox's living and breathing RPG. Coming in at number 7 is the Descent series. In order to enter any other cheat codes in the original Descent, you had to first enter the code Gabba Gabba Hey in reference to the Ramones' viral catchphrase from their song Pinhead. The game's narrator would then taunt the cheater. And worse, the B key was used to drop mines pretty much directly underneath the player. So in order to enter this cheat code in the first place, you had to remap your control scheme to avoid your own explosive demise. Once players caught word of the Gabba Gabba Hey code, they tried it again when Descent 2 came out, but in this game, the code wasn't required in order to access other codes. So instead, the developers repurposed it as a troll code. It drops your health down to 1% and removes your shields. What a way to punish rabid fans, right? I'm surprised there wasn't more backlash when this news was surfacing back in the 90s. At number 6 on our list today, we've got Slender The Arrival. This game, a polished sequel to the Let's Play smash hit jump scare game Slender, dubbed the 8 pages after The Arrival was released, was developed by Blue Isle Studios. This was their first official project, and while it was certainly much more fleshed out than the original 8 pages, it didn't get as much attention. mainly because the game cost money, while the original one was free and very topical. This was during the big boom of horror Let's Plays that saw the rise of YouTubers like PewDiePie and Markiplier, so the timing of the original was great. So with all these eyes on the sequel, it was sure to have some bugs and flaws revealed to a mass audience at some point. The developers included some code that would trigger if the player managed to clip out of bounds in the game world. A jump scare that prevented players from finding ways to escape the bounds of the world that the developers set forth. It comes with a message saying, "Not even a bug in this game would save you from me." Nice fourth wall break, guys. You really bring in the immersive horror experience we were all hoping for. We are halfway through our list now, and at number 5 we've got Titanfall. Now this game is a little bit more recent than a lot of the others, and instead of tackling codes or clipping exploits, this humiliation tactic tackles the issue of aimbotters and wall hackers. Yep, the developers of Titanfall would put a virtual curse on any suspicious behavior and only allow cheaters to play against other cheaters, effectively making the game fair again. Whatever backwards logic you might think that entails, it's probably true that making cheaters play with cheaters and fair players play with fair players would make the game more balanced. Unless, of course, you got reported when you were doing exceptionally well, even if you weren't cheating. I'm not sure how many people had to deal with cheaters when they weren't cheaters themselves, but at least it's better than letting the aimbotters run wild with the rest of the pack. It's not as blatant as telling the player they're cheating and breaking the fourth wall, but I'm sure that the developers got a few laughs in by spectating rage quits from cheaters who thought they were supposed to be doing better than everyone else. Honestly, that's something I'd love to watch. At number 4, we've got The Witcher 3. Now, this isn't a move to protect from cheaters as much as it is a way to discourage time exploits in the game. Nobody wants to grind currency for hours in a game. I mean, look at Simon's Quest. But Witcher players were unpleasantly surprised that if you time skipped enough times while grinding cows for their meat, you'd eventually be face to face with endless cow demons. Yep. Not being patient enough for the cows to respawn was frowned upon by CD Projekt Red, so they included this as a way to deter players from exploiting time skips for extra money. I guess you can't blame them for wanting to have a little bit of fun, but these cow demons just keep coming non-stop, so after this point your save file is as good as toast, dude. The only thing worse would be an endless swarm of PETA advocates trampling you to death for using time-traveling cow slaughter as a way to get those sweet, sweet crowns a little faster. We're in the top 3 now, and at number 3 we've got Heretic. This game, developed by Raven Software and published by id, the creators of Doom, Wolfenstein, Quake, and others, wanted to take a shot at Doom veterans who wanted to cheat their way through their new game. In Doom, there were many famous cheat codes, but in Heretic, entering any of these codes would give you the exact opposite results. For example, the God Mode code for Doom would kill you instantly in Heretic with the message, "Trying to cheat, eh? Now you die." The code used to unlock all weapons in Doom instead stripped you of all your weapons in exchange for a big stick, taunting you with the phrase, "Cheater, you don't deserve weapons." While they are funny from the outside, I could see being pretty PO'd about getting trolled for remembering the codes from your other favorite id Software titles. I guess they really wanted to stir up some fuss on forums everywhere, because I'm sure these callback troll codes really made some experienced Doom fans angry. At number 2 on our list, we have the Stanley Parable, one of my personal favorite games of the last decade. It's not so much a game as it is an interactive story with psychedelic maps and strangely spot-on narration. The game is made in Valve's Source engine, so by activating the developer console and enabling server cheats using SV_cheats_1, the player could activate other cheats like no-clip, which allows the player to move through the walls to see the map. This, however, would ruin the illusion of the well-designed maps and mazes that this game has to offer. So instead, the developers remapped that command to load up a level called the Serious Room, in which the narrator of the game taunts you for trying to access cheats, as it would spoil the magic of the game. I actually found this one myself when I played the game for the first time, and it was definitely hilarious to know that the developers had thought to do that. But the mystery of the level design keeps me curious to this day. I still want to see those never-ending looping segments behind the scenes. It's great that the Easter egg is so funny, however, or I might have actually been upset about it. And finally, at number 1 on our list of games that humiliated cheaters, we have Banjo Kazooie. Yeah, the beloved N64 classic collectathon that defined Rare Software's golden age. Sadly, they haven't been quite as inventive in the last decade, making Kinect games and all that, but this old trick to discourage cheating lives on in infamy as one of the worst. If the player entered in one too many quote-unquote illegal cheats, meaning cheats that bypassed certain puzzles or challenges in the game, the main villain, Gruntilda, would erase your save file. Yep, all those hours of progress, gone in an instant. Imagine the screaming fits this caused those not-so-sneaky cheaters who just got their hands on the latest code book. It must have been devastating to say the least. And there you have it, our list of the top 10 games that humiliated cheaters. Do you agree? Did we miss something? Let us know in the comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe for more great videos from ArcadeCloud every other day. Take care and game on.